You know, I'm working from home now, but I feel like I'm getting less done. What's up guys, Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, and in this quick video tutorial I'm going to walk you through a little known strategy that I've come up with to really work effectively from home, even though I've struggled with ADD all of my life and I'm constantly dealing with distractions. So this value blocking technique I think is going to be very, very valuable to you if you're working from home and you're trying to figure out how do I get more out of my day, especially because when you work from home the lines are really blurred between work and personal, right? And of course, a lot of what I'm going to cover in this video will require some level of self-discipline, but what's really nice is when you begin to apply these principles and strategies and you begin to apply the techniques day in and day out, they start to become habits, and then they take less and less energy to implement because they become ingrained as a habit and it just becomes a nice flow to your day. So kicking things off with the first tip I have for you, and then I'll get into, that value blocking tip, is the environment. The environment that you set up for your work is critically important. I mean, I could do a whole video on this, but essentially what you need is you need a space. It doesn't have to be a separate room. I work in the corner of my living room. I know a lot of other, work from home entrepreneurs that do as well. But what's really important is there is a space. You have an environment where when you sit down, this is my workspace. And when you sit down, other people in your family know you are at work. So for example, I pretty much live in one big room, right? It's a studio. So what I've developed with my wife is I will actually tell her, hey, I'm plugging in, or if I have headphones in, even if I don't want to listen to music, as long as I have headphones in, I signal to her and anybody else who's over that I'm working and I'm not available. It's critical that wherever you set up your environment, it's comfortable. I still recommend that you dress for work, business casual or just something casual. Definitely working from your PJs. You need your brain and everybody else around you to really take seriously what you're doing when you're at your desk, when you're in that environment, you're in work. If you're closing the door, nobody disturbs you, or if you're in the corner of the living room, you have your headphones in, or maybe you have a little sign that says, I'm working, don't bother me. But whatever it is, when you're in that environment, everyone else, including yourself, needs to treat it as if you're at work and you're not at home. And once you have that environment, it's time to talk about value blocking. Now, there are a lot of videos out there on time blocking, and then something that I've developed called the value ladder of time. I'll link to both of those videos in the description. But here what I want to talk about is how you schedule your day, because scheduling your day is arguably one of the most critical parts of effectively working from home after you have your environment. So you've got your environment, you've got your desk, you're all set, ready to go. Now it's time to be productive with the time you have. And if you're anything like me, you probably notice some days it feels like you don't really get all that much done, even though you don't have a lot of distractions, even though you've been plugged in and focused all day long. And this is where the value blocking comes into play. So I'm going to put this up on screen for you. Essentially, every task you do has a dollar value. You have $10 tasks, you have $50 tasks, and you have $100 an hour tasks. The problem is it's really easy to get sucked into the $10 an hour tasks and forget that we need to be focusing on the 50 and the 100. So if you're familiar with the concept of time blocking, it works something like this. You plan out each hour of your day, so you know when you're working and when you're at lunch. Now, when it comes to time blocking, especially when you're working from home, you probably are wearing a lot of different hats. So you never really know what type of task or what specific task you need to do that day. From a productivity perspective, there's a tremendous amount of value of having a consistent flow, having a consistent regimented schedule throughout your day, but you still need that kind of flexibility in terms of, I don't know exactly what I'm going to get done. So here's how value blocking helps you with that. When you time block your day, you want each time block to represent a valued tasks. So it'll be anywhere from 90 minutes to 120 minutes. So for example, when I wake up in the morning, my first 90-minute chunk is $100 an hour work. So I don't know what $100 an hour work I'm then going to need to get done that day. I just know if I have something that needs to be 100 that is in that bracket, I'm going to do it first thing, because those $100 an hour tasks are the most important thing to pushing your business forward. So your beginning time blocks of the day should be $50 and $100 an hour time blocks. You don't have to necessarily know exactly which task you're going to be doing, but when you're looking at your task list and you say, oh, I have 5 or 6 different things at 50, then those things are going to be taken care of in your 50-hour time block. The third and final tip I have for you, we have environment, we have what you do throughout your day, how you schedule it, and then finally we have the close. This is arguably one of the most important parts if you struggle with shutting down. Like personally, I struggle a lot with shutting down because the line between my work and personal is super, super blurred. I seem to always be thinking in the back of my head. And so if you struggle with this tip is definitely for you, and that is have a routine of closing things down. For example, even though my computer and laptop are always in view because I'm in a very small space, at the end of the day, I always shut down my laptop, I put everything away, the desk is all nice and clean, and then I walk away for at least 5 or 10 minutes. And that signals to me, my subconscious brain, and everyone else in the house that, hey, the workday is over. Does that mean you can't go back and do something else because maybe you suffer from workaholism like I do? Absolutely not. But what is important is you have that close. So there's a clear distinction between the workday is ended and I'm doing extra work at night. And that's it. Those are my 3 big tips for working from home effectively. So I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button and then subscribe, because I have a lot of productivity videos like this one, helping people who work from home just be more productive with their time. And I'm also documenting the entire process of putting together an online business from scratch. So if you are a fellow entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, I encourage you to join myself and others on this crazy journey of working from home and entrepreneurship. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below if you have any questions on managing your day more effectively working from home. And until the next video, keep building the business you love. Take care.